Since entering the presidential race in June, Donald Trump has risen in the national polls and is currently the frontrunner for the Republican nomination. Mr. Trump has made some bogus claims along the way. So let's separate fact from fiction. We'll begin with Trump's claim about Muslim Americans on September 11, 2001.
Hey, I watched when the World Trade Center came tumbling down. And I watched in Jersey City, New Jersey, where thousands and thousands of people were cheering as that building was coming down. Thousands of people were cheering. So something's going on. We got to find out what it is.
The fact is that New Jersey and New York news organizations tried to track down rumors and unverified reports of celebrations in New Jersey cities, and turned up little or nothing. John Farmer Jr., the New Jersey Attorney General at the time, said reports of celebrations were investigated and found to be false. Never happened, he said. Here's a claim from Trump about Osama bin Laden.
I wrote in the book 2000, 2 years before the World Trade Center came down, I talked about Osama bin Laden. You better take him out. I said, he's going to crawl under a rock. You better take him out. And now people are seeing that. They're saying, Trump predicted Osama bin Laden, which actually is true. And then 2 years later, a year and a half later, he knocked down the World Trade Center.
This is an exaggeration. Here's the lone reference to bin Laden in Trump's book. Instead of one looming crisis hanging over us, we face a bewildering series of smaller crises, flashpoints, standoffs, and hotspots. We're not playing the chess game to end all chess games anymore. We're playing tournament chess, one master against many rivals. One day we're told that a shadowy figure with no fixed address named Osama bin Laden is public enemy number one, and US jet fighters lay waste to his camp in Afghanistan. He escapes back under some rock, and a few news cycles later, it's on to a new enemy and a new crisis. Let's take a look at this image retweeted by Donald Trump, which purports to offer murder statistics in the US. These statistics are false. Here's how the percentages work out. Blacks killed by whites, 7.6%. Whites killed by whites, 82.4%. Whites killed by blacks, 14.8%. Blacks killed by blacks, 90%. As these figures show, the graphics claim about whites killed by blacks and whites killed by whites aren't just a little off, they are grossly inaccurate. The data from 2013 is nearly identical, so none of the 2014 figures is a one-year anomaly. The 2015 data won't be released publicly until the fall of 2016, a spokesman for the FBI's Criminal Justice Information Services Division told FactCheck. As for the statistics, blacks killed by police, 1%, and whites killed by police, 3%, we're not sure where those figures come from or what they are supposed to represent. According to our analysis of FBI data on justifiable homicide, there were 308 white felons killed by police officers in 2014, and 119 black felons. And again, the FBI does not have 2015 data available, as the graphic retweeted by Trump purports to show. Here's Donald Trump making a claim about Russian Prime Minister Vladimir Putin.
For Syria, I like if Putin wants to go in, and I got to know him very well because we were both on 60 Minutes. We were stablemates, and we did very well that night. But you know that.
The two did appear on the same 60 Minutes episode, which aired on September 27th. But journalist Charlie Rose traveled to Moscow for the 2-hour interview with Putin, and Trump was interviewed by Scott Pelley in Trump's Fifth Avenue penthouse in Manhattan. Let's end with this claim about Ford.
I'm telling you, I'm going to renegotiate our trade deals. I'm going to bring our jobs back. I'm going to bring our manufacturing back. I'll give you an example. Look, Mexico took a Ford plant. I've been very tough on the Ford. You've heard me talking about Ford. I heard last night that Ford is moving back to the United States. They may not do that deal. I get credit for that. I should get credit for that. Somebody wrote last night, can you imagine what he could do if he was president? Ford was going to build this massive plant. I brought it up at so many speeches, and frankly, I think I embarrassed him. But Ford now is going to build a big, massive plant in the United States. And every single person, even my harshest critics, gave me credit for that. But, I'm going to do that times 1,000.
But Ford hasn't changed its plans to build new $2.5 billion facilities in Mexico, according to a company spokeswoman. As part of our global manufacturing plan, we announced a $2.5 billion investment in 2 Mexico facilities to build a new generation of engines and transmissions. Kristen Tinsworth-Baker, a spokeswoman for Ford, told FactCheck via email. These engines and transmissions will support Ford's global product lineup. Our plans for that investment have not changed. Ford Motor Company has released a statement saying, Ford has not spoken with Mr. Trump, nor have we made any changes to our plans. We decided to move the F-650 and F-750 medium-duty trucks to Ohio Assembly in 2011, long before any candidates announced their intention to run for US president. To get the facts on all the candidates, go to factcheck.org.